the financial and banking session, which are Miss Chloe and Mr. Azna Osman from CIMB Bank. I will introduce a bit about both of them. First, Mr. Aznan is a manager in regional talent acquisition under the group human resources functions of CIMB. He has more than 20 years working experience in banking. And Miss Chloe is a manager in regional talent acquisition as part of the group human resources functions of CIMB. Miss Chloe has polished her skills for over 7 years in other key talents areas like recruitment, talent management, and projects development. For the first 1 hour, Miss Chloe will start first. Now, we will start our session. Miss Chloe, this session is all yours.
All right, thank you so much, Lufil. So I hope everyone is doing great, and I understand you came from another sessions, right? So let's get your fingers warm up, and you can always interact with us via the reaction buttons you have down there, or put up your reply in the chat box. We'll try to address as many as we can throughout the sessions if you have any questions. If not, towards the end, we will also have a Q&A sessions. So today I have Aznan with me. We always call him Abang Nan. So that's what I'm going to call him for the rest of the session. So you have me and Aznan. So both of us are from the talent acquisition team in CIMB. So we does the hiring for any roles in the bank, basically, including graduate program, roles or positions at the branches for IT as well. So feel free to connect with us on LinkedIn. You have our names, just go and check it out and get connected after this. So without further ado, let's move on to a quick poll to see how everyone is doing. So scan the QR code and go to slido.com if you are from your handphone. Just put CIMB, and let's have a quick poll to see some of the interesting questions, or I want to find out from the people that I'm talking to today lah, basically. So log on to Slido, and we shall start in 1 minute's time. Has everyone logged on to Slido? So first is, where is the first place you want to go if, let's say, once our lockdown is lifted? My hometown, Langkawi Mountain. Oh, I saw Sabah. I love Sabah. Langkawi. Well, seems like a lot of you guys want to go to Langkawi. Nice. Japan. Beach. Yeah. Cafe, mountain, jungle.
Somebody wants to go to Mama.
Yeah, I saw an article today. A guy actually teared. He has his first
right.
tarik.
It's so funny, right?
Yeah, it's something that is so precious.
So now you are allowed to go to Mama.
Yeah, if you have your 2 doses done.
Yes, that's right.
Nice. South Korea. Yeah, everyone can't wait to actually get out of the house, right?
Shopping mall, yeah, you can go to shopping mall now if you got your second dose.
Nice. Keep it coming, keep it coming.
Stay home
Jungle.
still. Going back to the campus. Pulau Pinang. Pintian Island picnic. Nowhere. That's good. Save your money. Save your money.
Oh, Pulau Redang. All right, cool. So let's move to the second questions that I have. So one word to describe your day today. How do you feel today? One word to describe. Amazing. Yeah, tired. Good. Awesome.
I saw banana leaf.
Have you taken your lunch?
Have you taken your lunch? Inspired.
Tired.
Energetic. Cute. Oh, that's good.
I think mostly feeling quite good apart from tired.
Yeah.
Overall feeling quite good.
Boleh lah. Boleh lah. Lazy. That's common on weekend. Relaxing,
Nice.
enthusiastic.
Productive.
Miserable. What happened last night or this morning? Would you like to share? Gila.
Oh. All right. Let's move to the next question. So, are you vaccinated? Just curious. I think this has become one of the most questions that you're asked when you see people nowadays. And the next question is, either is AZ or Sinovac or Pfizer. So yeah, wow,
Wow, that's
quite
good.
many fully
Yes,
vaccinated.
that's right. That's good.
My first dose.
So I hope you
Some,
have completed your 2 weeks so you can go out.
yeah,
And but still you have to be safe lah. Yeah.
go out when necessary.
Yeah, that's right.
We still have about 10% that is still waiting for their turn. But good. I think soon we'll be able to get it done for everyone.
Hope
All
it's not
right.
too long, yeah.
Okay. Good to know most of you guys, more than half is actually fully vaccinated, which is really good. So yeah, thanks for joining the sessions today. And as you all know, it's about resume writing as well as interview ethics. So we'll be sharing some of the tips or experience that we have with you guys, so that could help you to actually excel in your upcoming I don't know, you are looking for a job soon, or you're currently actively looking, which we hope this might be useful for everyone here to help you to secure your dream job or the job that you have always wanted. So let me just put up my screen here. Can you see my slide?
Yes, can.
All right. So again, hello, I'm Chloe, and I have Azdan with me here. So as I mentioned, I will cover the first part, and Azdan will cover the second half of the session. So throughout the sessions, feel free to type in the chat box, or you can always give your reaction. That's the best way, or the only way that we can react with each other nowadays, right? So we will pick up the questions from time to time if can. So don't be shy away from asking questions. There's no right or wrong questions. So without that, let me just put up the chat box. Yeah. Okay, I can see it now. So, all right, is everyone ready to start? If yes, I want to see you typing yes in the chat box before I start. Come. Are you ready for the session? Yes, say yes. Or you can react with the button that we have there. Yes, cool. Everyone is excited. So, right, let's move on. So, let's go into straight before preparing your resume or CVs, right? What do you need to know about it? So first of all, is for me, I think is very important to get to know about yourself, because most of the time we tend to, I was a student before, so I kind of like can relate, where we tend to like get a template from friends. Hey, how did you do that? How did you do it? And do you have any template for me to copy and paste? So it's not to say cannot do that, but do that with a mindful mind. Be mindful that what you are putting inside your resume as well. Your friend resume might not be suitable for your resume. So it's very, very important to get to know about yourself. Your friend could be applying for some other jobs that's, let's say, for example, related to design, but you want to apply for a job, let's say you're from IT, you want to apply a job with IT related roles. That will be slightly different approach when it comes to putting in information in the resume. So before even you begin, you must know yourself first, what kind of jobs that you are looking for, and what kind of experience or achievements that you have that you can actually put into your resume. So what are the things that you should include that is, how to say, is like what makes you different from the other person? Yeah, so the skills that you have, the passions that you have. So you must know what you're good at, and also the strengths that you have that can actually make your resume more attractive, and the values. So these are the things that you must discover and understand about yourself before even you simply go out and look for a job for the sake of looking it. You must know at least what kind of things that you're looking for, so that you can find something that can matches your passions or the values that you have, at least, so that you won't end up like you start off a role, then you find out it's something not what you wanted, just because you at the earlier stage you just simply apply and just get whatever that you have. So it's important to know that. So once you have know that, right, then you learn about the organizations that you have in mind. I'm sure you have like a wish list, what kind of companies that you want to go for, or you have in your wish list that you this is the company that I want to start off my career with. And to also study about their mission, their vision. So it's like dating, right? You must know that person before you get serious into a relationship. You be friends first, or you get to know about that person. What does she like? So try to find the similar values, or the visions that the company has. If that's something that would sparks joys, and give you that motivations that I want to be in it, I want to do something and grow with the company. Because with passions, that's where you can actually grow and excel further, especially when it comes to not just personal development as well as your career development as well. It will really help you to thrive, I would say, faster compared to those that might be doing things that they don't really like, or it's not they are passionate about. So any first timer here that prepare resume, or you have done your resume before? Can you type in the chat box? Any first timer? If you are a first timer, you can react with the button, thumbs up. If you have done resume before, you can put like a love button. I think there's a love reaction button. I want to see roughly how many of y'all have done the what you call that, resume before. Yeah, yes, I saw some coming in. First time. Yes. Any more first timer? First timer, yeah. Okay, cool. Then I hope what we are going to share next will be helpful for you. So if you're a first timer, I think I'm sure you always heard about people talk either CV or resume, right? So actually, what's the difference, right? Basically, for us, doesn't really make a lot of difference lah. But if you really want to like put it like in detail, like you really want to know what is it about. So for CV, so is basically it's the length of the documents that you share with the recruiter when you apply for a job. One is longer, one is 10. Usually we'll keep it short and sweet, like we keep it within 1 to 2 page. That's where we call it resume. You try to put like a summary of all the experience or achievement that you have in that documents. So because resume or CV is kind of like the elevator pitch, right? Before you even get the chance to be interviewed by the person. So it's very important for you to put up the key highlights or things that the recruiter or the hiring manager want to see. So which I will share later also, like how are you going to put the useful keywords that you can actually use in a job searching when you put up your resume for a job application, for example. So basically, these are some of the infos that you can actually get. I'm sure you can see it on Google, or you can Bing it. All this will come up. So what really matters is the experience that you share in the resume, and also the presentation of the documents, the resume itself. How do you actually make it neat and also easy for us to read? Because when we put up applications, right, depending on the role, but in general, on average, we get about 100 to 200 at least applications that comes in. So imagine the time that we spend like actually reading a resume is about, want to guess how long does it spend for a recruiter to actually read through or scan through a resume? Want to take a guess? You can put up in the chat box how long you think. 1 week, 2 hours, 10 seconds. I saw 2 to 3 seconds, 5 minutes. Okay, keep it coming. I want to see you think how much time that a recruiter takes to screen through a resume. 1 month, 1 minute, 10 seconds. Wow, quite a wide range at a glance. 1 to 2 minutes, 10 minutes. Yeah, so on average, right, when screen through a resume or you go and search based on majority, like the survey that we have out there, on average is between 6 to 12 seconds. So depending on how long or how complex or the content that you have in there. So on average, it's about 6 to 12 seconds to screen through a resume. So when we screen through, we actually look for like the keywords based on the job descriptions that we have, like the roles, what kind of skill set or the kind of things that the person need to do. So we will try to find a match between your resume as well as the job requirement as well to find the best match. Then we will shortlist, and that's where you have the chances or opportunities to be interviewed by the hiring manager. So if the important things or points is not even stated in your resume at the first place, chances of you to be interviewed relatively will be lower as well. So it's very important for us to actually put the keywords that the job requires the person to be able to take on the role. So often it's very important for you to understand the job description when someone posted up a job. So if there's a need for you to alter your resume, right, you just have to amend it accordingly. So so that you can get the higher chances to get your CV to be shortlisted. And how you should actually arrange the flow, right? Like how should I put up my informations? Like some people, they put their informations like everywhere. So when we say it, it's like where should I? So it took us a longer time to actually like read through when, if let's say the resume is too fancy or too messy or even too little information, then it will just be put aside. So how you should put up the informations or the flow in your resume. So these are like some of the options that you can explore, but the most common one that people use is the chronological way of arranging information in a reverse matters. Meaning, if let's say you have few years of working experience, usually people will put their latest job experience at the first part. Like let's say for example 2019 to present, I'm in this company ABC, so I will put that first, then follow. So in a reverse chronological way, because psychologically people tend to be interested to look at what is your current job or what you are currently doing right now. So when you put up in that way, is easier to read through as well. And the other way that people would use is a functional, they call it functional, basically is for you to put up your resume information based on the skills that you have. So for functional, usually what kind of people they like to use functional is people who are from the technical background, for example, E&E, from IT or from oil and gas, for example, where they group their skill set. Because you know in IT you have different programming language or technology tools that you use, right? So often they will group it in that manner. So again, it really depends on your background as well as the kind of jobs that you are looking at, which I will share a few examples later on. Then you will kind of know what do I mean by chronological, functional, as well as combination. So combination is, I mean, straightforward combination of two ways of putting in the information that you have on your resume. So if you see here, this is like one of the example that you can see like, so if you look at it, what do you think is the kind of resume that this person is doing here? Can you take a guess? You can type in the chat box. What kind of resume is this? Whether is it a functional or chronological, or is a combinations? Combinations. Too wordy, yeah. Combinations. Yeah, quite a few of you guess it's a combinations. So meanwhile, I saw one question, what if I don't have any work experience, right? So if you don't have any work experience, I'm not sure if you have done part-time before or internship before, that could be consider your working experience as well. You don't think like, oh, I work part-time at MACD is not something that worth putting in. Actually, it's not. You can always put that in because, for example, you're working, for example, in a drive-through. That requires someone with multitasking skills. So if you can excel that, right, it shows that you have that skill. So nothing is too big or too small to be included in your resume if you have no like what you call that formal work experience like a 9 to 5 job. If part-time you are a part-time tutor, you can put it in as well as part of your experience. Or if you really don't have, you have not even done your internship yet, you can always put in the curriculum involvement that you have in your universities or your colleges. What was the role that you took? You don't just put I'm a president of something, but put more in terms of the description. What did you do? How many team member that you actually manage? Let's say you are president of a club, you manage actually 50 over members running 11 projects. So that's something that you can put more in terms of your curriculums and achievement. If let's say you won something at the national level or at the international level, let's say you go for some business case study and you won something, you can always put that in as your achievement. If you don't really have like exact work experience, like you can always put that in because we understand not all fresh graduates have work experience or people or students who are looking for internship, but we want to see what did you do in your uni in terms of other than your CGPA, also the soft skill part of it. Let's say imagine you have two students, right, both having a good CGPA, let's say 3.8 and 3.8, and both from the similar background for the similar role. What's the deciding factors, right? I want to take this student A instead of student B. That's where we look at your curriculum achievement. What did you do? Or you actually have portray a leadership skill, for example. You know how to manage conflicts or manage stakeholders, like you organize events, right? So that would make you different from the other one when, let's say, he has it, but he didn't show it on the CV, for example. That's where you get a better chances to be shortlisted. So it's always good to put in the experience that you have in the resume. If you don't have a job experience, you can always put in your curriculum involvement as well, and what did you do, what did you achieve. Okay, so the rest I will try to answer or towards the end of the Q&A if we have not managed to pick it up along the way. So this is actually a functional style resume. So if you see here, he actually didn't really put when he actually does what or did what. So but he more on this person put up the skills that he has, like what this person does, and like for example customer service management and supervision. So this person actually group it in a functional way based on the functions that he has done before. So move on. This is another combinations style of resume writing. If you see here, this person actually put the skills section on top and a little bit of introductions, what kind of achievements and involvement this person does or has. And down there, he actually put like the work history based on like the latest one on top. So it's a combinations that he has the functional section as well as the chronological sections. So this is another example of functional as well. So it is if you see here, didn't really mention the timeline when this person is with which company, but instead this person actually group what kind of things that he has done in the past employment. So usually the most common one that you see out in the market would be this type of chronological resume, where you actually put up based on the latest what you call that, latest job employment that you had and what did you do. So just sharing with you a few more. So these are like some others types of resume that you have that you can actually have a look. So in terms of appearance, right, how your resume or how our resume should look so that it looks presentable instead of it look too fancy. You know, some they put too many colors, right? So when you look at it, it looks more like a poster rather than a professional resume. So in terms of the appearance wise, right, like the font itself, try not to make it too big or too small. I have got the resume before where the font is so small that I have to like really put right in front of my face to actually read it. The person crammed too many information in it. So if can, try to keep the font between like the size of 10 to 12 if can, and try to limit the number of page, especially when you are students or fresh graduates, right? There's really no need for you to put up your CV to be up to 4 or 5 pages where the other 3 pages are your pictures. So like pictures of involvement also, that is really not necessary, but focus more on the content, the key points that you want to highlight. It is even okay if your resume is only 1 page. That's really fine because you don't have work experience anyway. So just highlight the key involvement that you have in your uni is good enough, or the part-time jobs that you have involved. And color as well. If you are not looking for like a designer kind of role, you don't really make your resume too colorful. Simple black and white, or if you really want some colors, to try to use like professionals colors like dark blue, like navy blue at the side. Not too much of it. Try to avoid like some what you call that, like clip art. So those you don't really need to put it in, because what we want to see is the content itself. And also very important, often also people like to ask, is there a need to put in pictures or the photo of myself in my resume? It's really optional. Unless you are looking for a job like receptionist, then it's something good to have. But if not, it's okay if you decided not to put your pictures. But if you really want to put your picture, make sure you put something that is presentable, not like your 45 angle degree selfie, or your cute TikTok, right? Not TikTok, Instagram selfie with some filters. So try to avoid that. Get pictures that is with a clean background, neat, dress accordingly, and you can put up that picture. So if you want to use, is okay, but put up presentable pictures lah, and make sure the pictures is clear. Some like they put pictures but it's so dark, then it doesn't look nice, like overall appearance of your resume anymore. And also file format. So this is something that I also find out quite recent as well. It's important that you keep your file format as PDF. Why? Because when you apply, let's say for let's say apply job through a job portal, right? When you upload your Microsoft Word, when some other people download it in their laptop, it might turn to some other format due to their, let's say, Microsoft Word version is different from the one that you have. Then your resume will look kind of like, sometimes the words would be jumbled up and down, and it looks really messy, and we have to like realign again. So if can, when you want to upload or share your resume with recruiters, make sure it is in PDF format, so that your format is keep it the way that you wanted when you did it on your computer. Because when some other people download it, it might turn to something else. Even the font size, it will turn. So it will look like super funny sometimes when we download the resume. So keep your file format as PDF when you submit for any applications. And also do spelling and grammar check, no copy paste. So do checks whatever things that you're putting in the CV. And also the tense that you use, like for example, let's say currently you are working in company A, it should be all the present tense. Things that have passed, you should use past tense. So if you're unsure, always get someone to check on your CV as well, to just get like a assurance to ensure the information on your CVs are correct. So these are some of the things that I believe we should be bear in mind when it comes to preparing our resume. So what are the categories, right? So what kind of informations should I include? So like some people, they put so much, even like whether marital status, which don't really matters unless the job description mentioned they need someone single. But if not, in general, we don't really need to know on your CV whether you're single or married. Like for example, if you have put up some they put up their IC number, then they put their Malaysian. So if you have your IC number, automatically we know you are Malaysian. So you don't really need to put that, and you don't really need to put your IC number in there anyway, because it's considered sensitive information as well. So keep it simple and on need basis in terms of contact. So the first thing you must ensure is your contact, like your phone number and your email address is correct, because that's the information that we need to contact you if let's say you are shortlisted for the role. So the most important things that first thing in mind is your phone number. Check your phone number as well as your email address. Make sure the email address that you give, right? I know some you might have 2 or 3 email address. Make sure the email address that you give, you have the habit to check on the email inbox, because I've come across where when we email someone, because when we call the person didn't pick up, then we email, then we didn't get reply, then happened that person actually reply way after because he didn't really use that mailbox. So use email address that you often use so that you won't miss out any email, or who knows, you get invited for interview and you just lost that opportunity just because you didn't check the email. So make sure phone number, email address is correct. And also pick up your phone if let's say you are currently at the stage of applying for a job. And if you're not picking up phones, then is sometimes it's very difficult for us to contact if let's say you're shortlisted, or the recruiter want to clarify further. So make sure you are reachable either through phone or email. If let's say you feel you're afraid of scam call or whatnot. So just make sure either one of the channels you are reachable and you're active and constantly checking on updates on it. And also address. I often advise like students, you don't really have to put the full address. You don't want to know people like know where you stay exactly, like number 13, which jalan. So you don't really have to put that detail. You can always put like the area. Let's say I'm staying in Taman Tun, then you just put Taman Tun /KL. That is good enough already. We roughly know where do you stay or where do you live. So you don't really have to put like the full street address that you have for security reason, because when you proceed further, then you can actually put up that details. Also education background, which uni did you graduate from, what degree did you do, as well as experience, which I highlighted before, like the kind of work that have you involved in, or the extra curriculums that you involved in. And the skills that you have. Skills here would be like you often see even on LinkedIn, like project management skill. But when you put up the skills that you have, right, make sure you have that or you have experience in that. Don't just simply put something that because it looks nice on the CV. Because when later on if you're shortlisted, when you get questions or you engage in a conversation, people will know whether you have that skill or not. When people start to ask you to share about your experience, how do you feel about it? So put something that is valid if you have that skill. For example, like IT students, right, they often will put what kind of programming language that they know, like Java, Python, then they will list it down there, whether at the basic level or intermediate level. So if you have those kind of skill, you can actually put it in. Or if you did online program, let's say for now, very, very common, like people just sign up online courses, right? Like data analytics, beginner. So if you have done that, you can actually put that also. You can always specify you are just a beginner, but it's something good to have. Who knows, the roles require people with some basic knowledge about data analytics, for example. As well as, this is also another important thing, LinkedIn profile. So how many of you all have LinkedIn profile? How many of you have LinkedIn profile? You can type yes in the chat box. Want to see how many of you all? Do you have a LinkedIn profile? Yes. Cool. Yeah. Right. Yes. Yeah. Good to know. Okay. Some don't have. which is fine. Later, I will share with you on how you should create your LinkedIn profile as well. Yeah, quite a few don't have, but majority does have a LinkedIn profile, which is good. So if you have a LinkedIn profile, or later on after today's session, you can actually create one. Put the hyperlink of your LinkedIn profile in your resume. That's where it's important for you to PDF your resume so that the link won't get messed up, or sometimes we tekan, right, like some word missing, then your link will be gone. So put up your LinkedIn hyperlink. So if you can customize your LinkedIn hyperlink, which you can do it at the setting, so that your LinkedIn hyperlink will look more professional lah. So it's like linkedin.com/ for example, I think mine is CC Payee. So try to put something that is representing your name so that it's easier for people to search on LinkedIn as well, because LinkedIn has become one of the very common platform when we are screening or hunting for candidate. So is something that you should have nowadays, especially now all the things or events are being done virtually, no longer like physical networking sessions. So it's very good for you to have your LinkedIn profile as well, to build out your professional network and also widen your market as well. And other things that is good to have on your resume would be like I've mentioned it also, like award and achievement, or your volunteering experience or your community service. Like some people, like they have they are very active, for example, in their curriculum, where they do like social activities. You go to the kampong, you do something with the people, creating impact. So
Put it
those are
sampah, you know.
yeah, so those are the things that you can actually include and share what is your role. So don't just put like a one-liner kind of thing. Always share more about, like, put one sentence or two sentences. What did you do? What was your role? And what kind of impacts that you bring in when you did that project, for example. And also languages, like for example, if you know like Japanese or Korean, basic or intermediate, you can put it in, because some role does require people with foreign language as well. So again, also checking back through the job descriptions that you see when you are applying for a job. So try to match that. If that mentioned you need someone that speak Korean, then if no Korean, you can put it in. Then it gives you some extra weightage also when the person reviewing your CV. So for example, so if you see here, like the contact details that you can put on a resume, you can keep it short and simple so that you can put other content that is help you to carry more weight in your resume. So here you can see the difference, how you can actually play with the font, like you can bold it for some of the, like your name. Then if you notice here, I bold the name, and then the email address that you use, also very important. Try not to use email that it doesn't look mature or it doesn't look professional. So try to use a simple emails that best is to use something that represent your name, and make it clean and simple, rather than like coolbabe@gmail.com or little pie, little apple pie, things like that. Try to avoid that. And also again, make sure you check that email if you created another email for work purposes, right? So in terms of experience, how I should or we should share our experience, right? So try to make it clear, short and sweet. Like this is one of the example that you can see here lah. So you can always start with like a strong action verbs, like if you see here, analyzing, identifying. So these are the words that you can use. So like what do you analyze? So if you see here also a very good example where you share about the impact. So always make it in point form. So if you see here, these are two different ways of people sharing their experience, right? So one is using point form, which look more neat. Imagine reading this on the right. You actually spend more time, and it's very hard to find the keywords that you want to see, right? It's like all over the place. So try to make things short, like the one on the left, make it in a key point form, and also highlight what kind of impact, if there is any lah. So whichever that's applicable. So when you say you bring impact to something, quantify it, like increment by how many percent, or if you improve someone's life, how do you measure that? So put a simple measurement there. Make sure the information that given is valid also, because integrity is very important at the end of the day as well. So just always include situation, that explain that situation and put the actions that you have done, and then what kind of result that you bring in. So this is something that good to highlight when it comes to like you want to showcase what you have done, right? And how different are you comparing to other people. So these are some of the other example which I will just quickly run through. Like imagine you're a recruiter, you'll get like all these kind of CVs. Which one would you shortlist, right? So if you see this one is like, well, this is quite a common one that we always see. So like this also, if you see, it will look more neat when it comes to like if the person put in point form here, for example, and this person also arranged it in a reverse form, like he put whatever that is the latest one on top. So that is something that we will encourage people to put what is the current role that you have. Because if you put the other way around, we will still go to the back and see what is the current things that you are doing. For example, if you have 10 years of working experience, right, things that you do in your first few years might be different from what you are doing now. So usually we want to see what's the role that you are currently carrying at the moment. So like, for example, this one, what do you think? This resume, this sample. What do you think about this sample? You can type in the chat. Not professional. Thumbs down, speechless.
Fancy. Gangster.
Yeah.
Too diva.
Honestly, if I'm hiring a bouncer, I may consider this guy. So like the guy said, look a bit gangster, right? The picture that he chose to use. So yeah, if you see here, I think you roughly get the idea also, like how you should make your CV look presentable. Like you see, he put like shadow on the font. So it really takes out a lot of space, right? Rather, you can actually put more content that actually sell yourself in getting that dream job, for example. So yeah, the pictures that you choose is very, very important as well. So if you feel like you don't have any nice picture, then you just don't put it to be to be simple, focus on the content. Yeah. So yep. So don't make resume like this, which look too fancy and not much of content. Actually, if you see here, a lot of space are being taken up by those design thingy. And this, I think you can tell also, this CV is the font itself that he chose, right, is even if you want to read it, is a bit challenging. It looks like the when you play games, right, the font that appear when they explain about the story, that type of font. So it's not that professional. So try to keep it using font like Arial or Calibri. So these are the common fonts that people would use when it comes to preparing a CV. So avoid using fancy font like this. And yep, like this is kind of neat and clean, where you can read it easily. He put up point forms and also group it, put some skill, what kind of skills that this person has overall. So this is like a summary kind of sections that you can actually put. Then this is more details in terms of every role that person, what he or she does in details. So I saw there's quite some questions, which I think I will address towards the end later, because I still have a couple more to cover here, which I want to touch on social media, because nowadays, like I mentioned, a lot of events or even recruitment activities are being done online. Even us, we recently had a digital career fair where we do similar like this talks, as well as online interview, where people actually self-service, they book their own slot and they secure their time to talk to the interviewer or recruiter. So LinkedIn has become very, very often where we used to scout or also eye on potential candidates that we think might be potential for some of the roles that we have. So I know most of you have LinkedIn and some who don't have yet, which is good to know, where this is a snapshot how LinkedIn look like. So basically I just use my, just put some screenshot of my own LinkedIn profile here. So just go to linkedin.com, create a profile. If you have it already, make sure it is updated, and also put up informations, and as well as constantly updating your LinkedIn feed. Like you can always share about the articles that you read. What do you think about it? Or you have some tips to share, you can actually post it up on LinkedIn as well. So LinkedIn basically is like a professionals network for you to get connected with other professionals, regardless in what industry. And one thing about LinkedIn is you can be visible depending on how active you are and how are you going to do your setting and etc. You can be visible by the recruiters or employers out there, because when you interact, that's where we can see what kind of contents that you actually put up. And if you stay active, there's also channel for you to actually apply for jobs, where nowadays we are also posting up our job opportunities there as well, where you can just click a button and apply. But prior to that, applying a job on LinkedIn, also you must put up content in your LinkedIn profile, because without a content, when you apply for a job, your profile will look empty. So for example, right, so this is a sample of our CIMB career sections. So when you go to the CIMB page of LinkedIn, the job sections, you can see these are the current roles that we have. For example, backend developer. So you can see actually what are the job description here, the key responsibility and the qualifications are basically is the what kind of experience that we are looking for, because this is an experience hire. So you will see, like if you see down there like Java, Spring Boot. So these are the skills that we are looking at. So when you apply, right, you can actually just click a button, apply, or you can save the role into your like you can build it from your LinkedIn later on. It's like your save post on your Instagram. So you can do that on LinkedIn as well when it comes to job searching. And when you frequently search on job, right, LinkedIn has this algorithm where it will start recommending you job based on your background and also your preference. So your preference will come from your patterns of searching a job on LinkedIn. So it will start recommending you jobs that you can actually apply. So this is something that you can actually learn and explore more on this as well. So when you apply, right, that's where your copy of LinkedIn profile will actually go to our so imagine a mailbox, right? So it will go to our mailbox where we will view and see whether this person can be shortlisted or not. So if not sure if you're aware, so most on average, a job application can attract about at least 200. Sometimes we like if it's a more junior role, right, we even receive up to 300-400 applications within a span of 2-3 days when we post up a job. And usually this are role either the final hire is either 1 or 2 person. So the competition is really high there, and usually we shortlist about 4 or even up to 10 for interview sessions. So depending on, you have 1 round or 2 hours of interview. And nowadays, more than 87% of recruiters actually start sourcing through LinkedIn as well, because on LinkedIn, you are not just seeing that person's past experience as well, but how that person actually interact on LinkedIn, what kind of, for example, what kind of articles that they share, what kind of networks that they have. So in a way, indirectly, it represents that person's credibility as well sometimes. So sometimes we do go on LinkedIn to verify some of the profiles that we receive as well, like whether is it true or is it something that is not accurate. So we will also cross-check through LinkedIn as well, just to check out that person. So not sure if you ever wonder how does your LinkedIn profile look like for those that have LinkedIn profile already. So how to check? So this is the profile that the recruiter will see when you apply for a job. So when you go to LinkedIn, you go to real profile, and then you can actually download, you go to more, and you can download a PDF copy. So that's the final profiles that when you apply for a job, that's the profile that we will see. So it will be something like this. So I haven't really updated my LinkedIn profile yet. So this is just to share you an example of the profiles that we see at the recruiter view. So when you download, so this is page 1, on the right is page 2. So yeah, you see no point form. So you can actually put it in point form, you can update it accordingly. So this is something that we share to the recruiter later on when you apply a job online through LinkedIn. So this is like your LinkedIn resume, auto-generated from LinkedIn. So yeah, make sure, so if you have done any online courses on LinkedIn, right, it will show it here as well. So it will automatically to be added to your profile. And some of the skills, if you indicate or someone endorse you on LinkedIn, so it will actually appear. Yeah, so getting started. So these are some of the things that you can actually update. So it's like creating your Facebook profile. So these are some of the informations that you can actually put up in your LinkedIn profiles to make sure it's not empty. Because otherwise, right, when you apply for a job, if you didn't put up anything, right, you will not see all these things. What you will see is your name, and just like this, you see for CIMB, I didn't put it because I want to show you guys. Like here, if you didn't put up anything, unlike other previous employment that I have, right, I have all this, but here, if you didn't put anything, this is how it will look like. So imagine a recruiter viewing this, how much would I know if, let's say, for example, you are just having a title, like some they put, executive finance. So I will have the questions like, so what do you do in finance? Finance is really huge departments, right? You can be in payroll or you can be in procurement. So be specific on the things that you do. So this would really help us to actually screen to and best match the role that is suitable for you. So in terms of searching a job, so these are some of the channels right now that you can actually look for, like for example, the corporate website for companies that you wish to work for, job portal, LinkedIn as well, and some of the virtual events that like the one that you are currently attending. So what happens if you are shortlisted, right? And when you are shortlisted, something that you need to do is to always confirm with the recruiter or the person that contact you that you're shortlisted for interview on the positions that you're shortlisted. Because often, especially for junior, actually even for experience, people might be applying for a few roles, and sometimes you might got mixed up on the role that you are shortlisted. So always double confirm with the person who contact you for interview which position you are shortlisted for, because sometimes you might be applying for this job but shortlisted for another role because your profile is more matching to the other one. So no harm asking which position you are shortlisted, rather than when you attend the interview, then you are like lost, then only you found out, then you get panicked. So it's even worse. So always find out which role you are shortlisted for at the beginning when you are contacted for interview. And if you are not sure, it's okay to ask, can I have a copy of a job description? It's okay to ask that. And also to confirm on the date and time. And once you have confirmed, make sure you block your own calendar. Don't wait for the person to block your calendar, because that person might be blocking your calendar a day before and you actually got contacted like a week before. Sometimes we might forget. So always block your own calendar when someone has contacted you, and it's easier for you to follow up like a day before if you haven't received anything, right? You can always follow up, or have you sent me the link? So always to be safe so that you don't miss out any opportunities or miss out any interview sessions. And also to check on who is the interviewer, whether is it the hiring manager or is it from HR. So it's always good to ask that so that you can prep accordingly. Because usually if it's from the hiring manager, the questions asked will be more specific to the job scope itself, what you'll be doing, the expectations, and whether you have that experience or not. So always clarify on that. And also to ask, like, is there anything that you need to prepare before the sessions, whether is there going to be a test or assessment. So it's okay to ask all this before your interview session. So no harm to be prepared rather than to get shocked and panic at the during the interview sessions. And to get ready for the interview, right? So these are some of the do and don'ts that I'd like to share with you. To be punctual. So to be punctual, meaning let's say your interview session start at 3, right? Doesn't mean you log in to your Zoom or to your Microsoft Team 3 o'clock. You must log in at least 5 to 10 minutes before, because you don't know whether there's a hiccups on your computers or on your laptop or on your mobile phone. If let's say you're joining from a mobile phone, so it's always to go in earlier to get prepared. Because that person might be having a back-to-back interview. So always be punctual and join the sessions earlier, 5 to 10 minutes before the time mentioned. And also appropriate attire, dress accordingly, no fancy color. You know, if you're wearing a orange shirt, you don't go and wear a green color jacket. The interviewer don't know should look at your shirt or look at what or listen to what you say, right? Get distracted. So dress accordingly. If you're not sure what colors to wear, right? The color I listed here is like the safest colors that you can actually go for, like white, gray, navy, blue. So this color, even if you match, it will never go wrong. So I always call it the safe colors to go for when it comes to professionals meetup or even interview sessions. And also nowadays, a lot of interviews are being done virtually, right? So make sure you have a clean background. If your background has a lot of things, put up a virtual background or you blur your background so that it looks neat and clean as well. And also a conducive environment. Try to get somewhere that is quiet, no distractions, not like you're having to call by the roadside, so that everyone can concentrate on what you say and what the other person is sharing as well. And also always tech check. That's why you must log in earlier to check your mic, check the volume of your speaker, whether you can hear it properly or not. Instead of throughout the session, you're like, what you are talking. So always check on all these things and be prepared for any interview sessions or virtual events or talks that you're attending. And what you shouldn't do is, like I mentioned, lock in on time because you don't know what will happen. So always be prepared and go in earlier and attire with striking colors, noisy surrounding, and try to avoid that So when it comes to interview, when you be there on that day itself, how it should be done, right? So it's not about it's not like a Q&A sessions because often when it comes to, when I realize talking to fresh graduate, often most of the time, not all, most of the time it's like a Q&A session. Like I ask one thing, that person like answer one thing. So try to make it a conversation, engage with the interviewer, make it a conversation rather than like a Q&A, like like you are in a criminal, like those, TVB criminal drama, right? I ask you now, you tell me now. So try to avoid that. Make it a conversation. You can always start the conversation by asking the interviewer, like, how are you doing? Make it casual so that you can actually have more quality chat with them, and also for the interviewer to know you better as well. And don't be shy to talk, and there's no stupid questions. So instead of not just interviewer asking you question, I believe you should lead the session as well when it comes to an interview sessions. How do you lead? First of all is to listen to answer, meaning listen properly. What is the questions or conversations that the interviewer is talking about, and answer accordingly. If you are not sure, don't assume. Just ask, like, can you clarify further on this? What do you mean by this? So that you can actually answer the right thing, or to answer to the question basically. Because often we realize sometimes the person might not be sure what we are asking, then the person actually answers something else, then you have to repeat the whole thing again. So listen carefully, and if you're not sure, just ask. And also share your expertise, what you are good at, and don't don't be shy in terms of sharing. Like often for example, like when we ask questions, then it's like one sentence answer, then it ends there, so there's no further explanation. So try to explain more about the things that you do, or the expertise that you have, what you are good at. So that's where we can actually understand more about you, and to see what kind of strengths that you have from the conversations that you share. But for sure, it must be accurate. So A is the same for accurate, where if you say that you love reading books, right, make sure you really love reading books. Because I have once, like the interviewer actually sharing he likes to read like financial, reads about stock market. So I just simply ask, so what's the latest book that you read? He cannot answer. So make sure you share accurate information. You say what you mean. Don't say just because it looks nice, because we will know when we when we talk to you further. So just be yourself, be genuine. If you don't know, you can always say, oh, I'm not sure about this. Can I go back, check, and come back to you on this? That is something that it shows that you have the proactiveness to actually try, rather than just laugh and say you know something, but actually you are not. So last thing is, D is to dust off any insecurities that you have. I know some, even going to an interview session, were still asking if they themselves are good for the role, the confidence. So these are the things that you need to really prep yourself. Find something to do to actually boost up your confidence. I don't know, like me, like last time, before going to a talk, I will go to the toilet and do the winner pose. When runner running to a finishing line, if you notice, right, they will cross the finishing line like with their arms open. So I call that the winner poser lah. So usually, like last time, I'll go to the toilet, just do it like for a few seconds, and I feel good about it to boost up the confidence. So everyone has their own way. So you must find your own ways to actually dust off your insecurities, to give yourself that assurance. You can do it. So don't doubt yourself even when the interview sessions are. That's what I notice a lot. Like when it comes to like students, right? They feel like they don't have work experience, and they start to feel insecure in a interview sessions, don't know what to share. Actually, there's a lot of things that you can share. Like for example, your university's involvement. So some of the common struggles, right, that students or fresh graduate has, like when asked about, tell me about yourself, like then you start saying, actually you already say your name, but then you repeat the whole thing again. Oh, my name is blah blah blah. So make it casual, quick summary about yourself. Grade is things that's not listed on your resume. If your resume already say you are from for example, you're from Ipoh, then you say again. So it's like it sounds repetitive, and it feels like there's nothing new to learn about you, right? So always share about things that is not listed on the resume, or some of the fun facts or things that you is interesting about you. For example, I can eat 3 burgers at once. Because I love burgers. So some random things like these fun facts about you that can actually break the ice with the recruiter as well. So that's how you actually start off a conversation rather than a question and answer sessions. And also, how much should I state for my expected salary, right? So some like will ask like, hey, miss, how much should I put? So first thing is be open about this, and also be how to say benchmark what are the rates or salary range out there for fresh graduate. So you can always put according to those rate lah. For example, like 2005, some can put 2008, depending on the sectors that you are applying the job with as well. So you can always check on things like Glassdoor to benchmark. So put something on average or something in between, and always be open for negotiation for that. That's the most important thing, because because sometimes you might not know how much you have in mind. Because for us, I think fresh graduate, the start of salary range is quite similar out there. It's depending on the job scope and whether you want to take on the opportunity, because all of us need to start somewhere, right? So always be open when it comes to negotiation as well. Something that can match your expectations, and do not, sometimes like towards the end, right, the recruiter might ask like, do you have any questions, and you might not know what to ask on the spot, right? So it is okay if you don't have questions to ask if you're not sure. But if you want to ask, it will show like you have the interest about the role. Sometimes when asking questions, it's also good for you to clarify on the things that the recruiter might not be able to share during the session. So if, let's say for example, the person missed out, so you can actually ask when someone asks you like, do you have any questions, because it shows you have interest about that role. Just like dating, right? When you know about a girl, you want to know more about the girls, right? Or the guys that you have interest in. So it's the same when it comes to a job interview as well. So you can always ask some of the common ones. If let's say the recruiter did not share, right? What about the working culture? What about the culture of the team that I will be working with? What kind of expectations that the team has for any new team member to join them? So these are some of the things that you can actually ask to also for good for you to know better about the team, and also to showcase that you really have interest to join the team as well, and how you can actually grow with the team. So what are the plans that is in place that you can actually explore? So going the extra mile would always give you a better chance and better opportunities to secure the job, for example, or to secure the career opportunities that you have for you to grow. So often follow up and to also engage with the recruiters by connecting them with on LinkedIn as well, and walk the talk. Meaning, if let's say throughout the interview sessions, you are asked to do something, let's say there's an assessment or there's a task for you to revert within 30 minutes, make sure you do it. Or during the interview session, you say you want to check and get back to the person on something, make sure you do it, because that will show how much commitment you have as well. So if simple things like this you didn't fulfill as per what you have promised, then you must be able to explain about it as well. But try to fulfill the promise that you have made. And yep, so going the extra miles. So I think Abang Nan will cover. So I've covered up to like the interview session. So Abang Nan will be covering on what happened after interview, what you should do. Over to you, Abang Nan.
Okay, right. Thank you, Chloe. Hi, everyone. I hope that everyone is still awake because it's afternoon, right? After a heavy lunch or whatever not. So you most probably feel slightly sleepy, right? So is everyone awake? Can I have some thumbs up or love or whatever? Okay, good. Hi. All right. Okay, thumbs up. Okay, good. Someone said fire. Hello. All right. Okay. So next, Chloe. All right. So after you have attended the interview, so obviously you feel great, right? You are so excited about you've been interviewed and whatever not. So, but then I would suggest you on this one particular thing is about thank you note. Okay, so I would encourage you to send a quick email thanking the hiring manager for the time that they have spent to interview you. Because you know that among all the CVs that they have gone through, somehow or other, they pick up your CV. So meaning to say that you are one of among the million, among those out of CVs that being selected to attend the interview. So I'm sure that you are very excited about it, and it's good for you to send a quick email to thank the hiring manager for spending the time to interview you. So this thank you note, it's I would appreciate that if it is short and it's just mention that you appreciate that they spend a lot some time for you to interview you, and then also mention how that what you have learned from the interview, such as during the interview there will be a briefing about the organization or maybe the department, or maybe on the position that you apply. So at least from the JD, you know maybe 10%, but after the interview, you get to know a lot more of what has been stated from the JD, right? And then finally, you can mention about how much they're looking forward to hear from them. So obviously, I mean, after you have so excited and you think that you stand a chance for it, so obviously you would mention to them that you're looking forward to hear good news from the company, right? All right, next one. Follow up. All right, okay. So obviously we know that penantian satu penyiksaan, right? So it's slightly a torture for you. But then for your information, during the interview, at the end of session, normally the candidate will some or other ask the interviewer or maybe the hiring manager said that when should I expect get the news from you? When can I get feedback from you? Whether within 2 weeks or maybe 3 weeks and whatever not. So please bear in mind that maybe you are not the only candidate that attended that interview. So most probably they require longer time to decide. Okay, so if let's say that they mention that we will come back to you within 2 weeks' time, so maybe on the date itself, or consider as a due date, maybe you are 2 or 3 days after that, or maybe a week after that, you try to send another email and ask whether what is the result, or maybe have they decided whether you are shortlisted or not? No, that kind of thing. So that is why it's best for you to follow up, but then not on the date itself, but then maybe 2-3 days after that. Okay, so if let's say that in that particular follow-up note that you send to the hiring manager, you can also express your interest and also the excitement about the position. So if you have additional information that may be considered very helpful in order for the hiring manager to decide, so please do so. Okay, provide documents. So meaning to say that maybe you used to work somewhere and these are the things that you have not covered or you did not mention during the interview, but you think that it's very important for them to decide based on that somehow or other additional information. Please do so. Provide additional information. Okay, and then tell them once again that you're looking forward to hear from them, because this one really helps. Yeah. All right. So the next one, the exception. Okay. So often candidates, when they attended interviews, they're being offered, or they've been called for several interviews. Within that period, maybe the last company that you've been interviewed, somehow or other, you are waiting for the result, but and at the same time, you have another offer coming from the company that you have been interviewed before. So at this point of time, you are somehow or other want to accept the offer. At the same time, you're also thinking of what happened to the interview that you last attended. All right. So at this point of time, also you can send a note. And then you also can ask them or mention that you have received an offer from company A, and then before you decided to accept the offer, you would very much appreciate if the company can somehow or other give their answer. So at least you have two things that you can compare. You don't tell them that you are comparing the offer. Sometimes that you have this kind of feeling whereby you like company A, but company B is giving more opportunity for you to grow. So most probably you want to wait for the company B, which is still pending, right? So it's good for you to sign another note, mention that you are still interested, but somehow or other you have another offer from company A. Okay. And the last one is the feedback note. So this is the end of the process, whereby you as a candidate somehow or other understand that after 3 weeks there is no news and whatever not. So most probably that you are not successful in the interview. Okay, so you can send a note and thank them once again for the interview. And you can mention that you enjoyed the interview session, interview process. Also, you can ask for feedback. Feedback is very important because you know why? Constructive feedback can give you an idea of what you are missing during the interview. Maybe lack of somehow or other information, or maybe lack of preparation, or maybe you did not build enough your confidence level during the interview. So this constructive feedback is very important for you to be prepared for the next interview session. It can be a different company, different position, or maybe that you may want to reapply a different position in the same company. Okay. Next. All right. So we have already gone through the part whereby the post-interview. So I believe that all those are something that somehow or other we tend to neglect, because we were thinking that either yes or no, but then sometimes a small notes from you can give a different impact to the company, because as I said, that when you are following up, you want to make sure that additional information can be forwarded to them so they can make a better decision. Or maybe during that period also, they have decided maybe Mr. A accept the offer. Unfortunately, Mr. A has another offer, so maybe you can be the second person who is will be shortlisted for the position. So by doing so, it shows that you have still interested with the position that you've been interviewed. All right. Okay, so quick summary and some takeaways. Yeah. So first, be prepared. Now, Chloe has mentioned about your preparation before the interview, right? You have to make sure that you know about the organization, read a little bit about the job description. If the job description does not match to what you have applied, so maybe you want to ask the person who call you, who arrange you for the interview, a little bit more of information of how you are going to get additional information with the position itself. And then you also need to build your confidence, polish your communications, and then and also make sure that you are somehow rather prepared in terms of physically and mentally. Because as I said, that preparation is very important to ensure that the interview process is very smooth, okay, on that particular day. Second is engage. As we are mentioned by Chloe just now, engaging is very important. So we don't want to be a Q&A session whereby the interviewer asks you and you just simply answer. Engaging meaning to say that you come up with a lot of things that you can develop from whatever question that has been posed, or maybe you can ask question in order to get more information about it. So practice LEAD as what mentioned by Chloe just now, yeah? So follow up, as what I mentioned just now, follow up will give another avenue for you to provide information, understand whether you are shortlisted or not, or maybe at the same time also to show that you are interested with the position. And that feedback is something that you will somehow or other get information in order to improve your credibility or maybe your preparation for the next interview. Okay. Do we have question?
Actually, Mr. Aznan, I have collected all the questions. So can I put on the chat?
Boleh.
So there are 7 questions before this.
Okay.
Okay, for the first one, for working experience, can we write about our part-time or full-time experience, even though it's not relevant to the current job that we are applying?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Because of sometimes the position that you are, the position or maybe the position or experience that you had, maybe somehow or other is not related, but it could be 1 or 2 items in the experience itself. Maybe helps in his CV. If let's say that the item itself related, but it's not directly related, but then related to the position that they're applying. Okay. So for an example, if you are applying for a sales position, before that you used to work in McDonald's. So it's very related because it involves customer service. It involves with the cross-selling. You know, these are very important because of it's interrelated. Okay. Second question is, what if we are doing our own business? Can it be included? Yes, you can do that. So, okay, because that is your effort. Okay, doing a business is not that easy. You build your networking. So sometimes if you are doing a business and after that, then you applying for a position which related to networking, it helps because networking is not that easy. So someone has to trust you in order to be part of your networking, right? So that is very important for you to list down what are the things that you have done it when they're talking about business, yeah? Do we have more questions? Or should we address it at the end of the session?
Can also, Mr. Aznan.
All right. Okay. So
thank
now,
you.
okay. Can I proceed with the pathways into banking? Okay, all right. So we have, we provide you with options. We create opportunities. Okay, so in CIMB, we also have graduate associate programs. Okay, we have TCB, the complete banker program. We also have a CIMB Fusion, and we have TCB Digital. So next slide. Okay, all right. So this is the complete banker program. You can see this is the recruitment process. It started with our online application, and we have assessment. And then we also have this digital interview, assessment center, and final interview. And then in terms of the rotation, in terms of the program, we started with the intensive classroom training. We have job rotations, elective development, as well as job placement. So this complete banker program is an agility program where we expose you to a few business related, such as consumer banking, we have Islamic banking, we have investment banking as well. So, and then at this junction, we are looking at the candidate from science background, maths, technology, as well as engineering. And then, so the program is about 2 years. Yeah, the program is about 2 years. Next. Okay, this is on the TCV Fusion. Yeah, so we have 4 different items under TCV Fusion. Yeah. The first one, we have PwC. This is for accounting graduates. And then the second one is Accenture. This is for all disciplines, the 2-year joint employment program. And then we have Zico. This is for law graduates. And the last one is Teach for Malaysia. So this is for all disciplines as well. So in order for you to apply, please go to our career@cimb.com. Yeah. Okay, this is TCV Digital. So this is for the students that coming from tech background, right? So this program is about for 1 year. So we have intensive classroom training for 1 month, and we also have job rotation for 11 months. So for your information, the CGPA that we're looking at is 3.25 or second class upper. Okay. Next. All right. We have done. So now is the question and answer session.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Azan and Miss Chloe. Actually, there is one question from Finina at the chat box. As a fresh graduate in financial services, what will be the skills that we need enhanced for banking and industry?
Hả? Nghe apa? Main.
So can you see at the chat box, Mr. Azlan?
All right. Okay. So
Finina.
as a fresh graduate in finance, financial services, what will be the skills that we need enhanced to for this banking industry? Is it necessary to have basic programming like taking online courses? What will be the skills that we need? Okay. All right. So first and foremost, you need to identify that which part of banking that you want to pursue. All right. So once you identify, then only you look at what are the current background, what you have learned in your universities, whether it matches to what is the position that you are applying. Okay, that is the first thing. Because in banking, we have so many different business. We have consumer, we have investment, we have IT, we have so many. So we even have audit, we have risk. So it's a different kind of job opportunities for you. So you have to see what is your background and how you're going to match to what the position that you want to apply. Sometimes because of you are from from accounting background, so maybe you want to go for audit, or maybe you want to go for risk. Okay, so this is something that you need to match and see what is your career that suits to your background. Okay.
Yeah, and this also bring back to the earlier point that I mentioned when I just started the session, is about knowing yourself, what kind of passions or areas like Abana mentioned you want to be in, because in banking and finance is really a wide spectrum. So if you, for example, if you aspire to be in a business analyst role, for example, so what are the skill set needed, right? So business analyst skill set, you will see like we need someone that can work with different stakeholders, your communication skills, how do you manage things like conflicts, because business analyst is kind of like a middleman between the business user and your technical person to try to get the requirements sync up. And you also need to be having the skills of prepping documents, developing documents, good in Excel. So first and foremost, you must know what areas that you want to be in. Then it's easier when it comes to zooming in into the things that you want to do. For example, if you say, I have an interest in data analytics, for example, so now the things that people picked up in data analytics will be things like Python. So you must know what areas that you are in, then you know what are the things that is good to have for you to actually upskill yourself. Yeah. And the second question is, do we need to address our soft skill in resume? Yeah, you can. Like soft skill, like project management, for example, if you have it, so you can always put it in point form. What kind of soft skills that you are good at? But for sure, when it comes to interview sessions, you must be able to elaborate it. If let's say you are asked to do so, like, hey, why do you put you are good in project management? Can you explain more? That's where you shared about what have you done in managing the projects that you have, for example, in universities. Yeah. So yeah.
The next question, how to know whether they use ATS screening or no, or manual method?
What do you mean ATS? Yeah.
Chloe, for us, sorry, Chloe Sharon here. For us, it's like value,
Oh,
the recruitment tracking.
I see. Yeah, like Sharon mentioned, we are using Talio, and if let's say you are going for a more technical role, for example, TCB, the Complete Banker digital program, right, the one that is open for digital background, we do have an online digital assessment as well to test on, for example, your programming, your networking, your IT security. So it's combination of different aspects. So we do have that as well. Yeah. And is it true higher CGPA?
Easier to secure a job. Well, it can be yes, it can be no.
Yeah.
It's very subjective, you know. Sometimes, you know, the terms of street smart person, right? So they are not really excel in universities or maybe in school, but then when we interview based on their experience and whatever not, so it seems like this person can be very, very good and very convincing. So who knows that this person stand a chance to get a job? So it can be yes and no, you know. So technical skills and technical knowledge in it can be a combination, because of sometimes your experience is A, but you learn about B. You are able to explain what is B is all about. So you stand a chance as well. So it can be yes and no. It can be yes and no. It can be based on your experience or it can be based on your CGPA. So either way, there is a chance for you to get a job.
For example, if let's say you are a IT graduate, for example, if your score of CGPA is like you pass might not look interesting comparing to those that we first class, but if let's say you have really hands-on programming skill, I think the deciding factor will also be a combination, the weightage of hands-on versus your academic result as well. So we will look at both of it. In fact, we also like hire students from polytechnic also that did a technical a role in CIMB also. So it doesn't really matters whether like people like to compare or whether a degree or diploma or master, for example. So at the end of the day, it's the hands-on skills that you have and your attitude as well at the end of the day, because we want to bring in the right person into the organizations to grow together. So having the right attitude and right mindset also one of the important factors in deciding whether to take which candidate at the end of the day, if we have a few that is quite similar, right? Yeah.
Okay, so there are new question. First, cover letter for internship, is it different with other company or same?
Cover cover letter for internship. It's I don't see any it can be the same because of it's only a cover letter. In the cover letter, you mentioned that you need to have an attachment with the company for the internship. So it doesn't matter as long as you mention the purpose of the cover letter, whether to apply a job or for internship.
And make sure you update your cover letter
Yeah, that's
accordingly.
right.
Don't send to company A, but
Uh-uh.
actually in the letter stated company C. So often that happen also. And also remember to change the name that you want to attention it to.
Yeah.
Because often you send too many, you actually forgot about that. So
Yeah,
you
it's a
actually
copy
send the same
pasting
name
lah.
to
It's a
different
copy
people.
pasting.
Yeah, try to avoid that lah, because that will show your attention to details as well. It's like a first impression. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for our speaker. Next question, is it okay to decorate our resume with colorful templates and fonts?
I think font just now we mentioned best is to use the common ones like Arial, Tahoma or Calibri, the clean font. Keep it between 10 to 12 in terms of the size. So color, if you really want to put color, try to limit it to one color or two color, not more than three, because when you have too many colors, it looks like a poster instead of a resume, unless you're applying for like design kind of role. So if let's say you are from UI UX, for example, design, you want to apply for designer related kind of role, right? You can always have your online profile and you put the link. Online profile meaning like, you know, some people they put up a website or like a blog kind of thing, like they put their creations or their artwork there, right? You can always have that link. Like some of the programmers, when they apply job, they will put like their GitHub link for us to see their work. So you can always do that. So we will click on the link and go and see your work. So this is one of the common things that the designers or the IT geeks will do. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Miss Chloe. Third question, is it really effective for us to use video resume? VMake.
Yes, I will say yes, because like for example like the day I just share experience with one of my friend as well. Like if you want to apply for a job, right, especially for graduate program, right, if you put in a little effort, like I mentioned, go the extra mile, right, to make people remember you. Because nowadays I think it's a culture thing, like Malaysia is not really that common yet. If you send out a resume, you put a short clip of yourself, like about 3 to 5 minutes to pitch about yourself, why you should take me or why I should join the organization. It will make the recruiter remember you. And having you making the video of yourself, it takes a lot of effort as well. It shows that you have that proactiveness and the commitment to really want that role. Because sometimes what we see lacking from most of the people is we don't feel the hungriness of that person wanting to build the career in the organization, for example. So for employer to take on is also a risk, whether am I taking the right person. So making a video resume would be really interesting to see though. Which sometimes I share tips, like because on and off I do online coaching as well. It does make a difference. Yeah, it does make a difference.
Okay, thank you, Miss Chloe. I think this is the last question before we jump into our quiz session. What are the
Sure.
technical skills that demand in the banking sectors?
Digital skill.
Technical skills.
Um, I think it's quite similar to the questions earlier. It depending on what spectrum you're in with the bank. For example, be it like Abana mentioned, we have wholesale banking, transaction banking. So if you're in the digital area, right, the common skills that people would look at would be like the data analytics skills. Now people are all talking about Agile, Scrum, like my colleague Sharon here is doing her Agile courses. So these are the common up and coming skills that people are looking forward to have. Analytics, design thinking as well. Yeah, in fact, like some of the students that we have doing internship with us, like the one that we have completed recently, we also send them for workshops like design thinking, IT security. If you're talking about technical skill, IT security, cloud. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Aznan and Mr. Chloe. It was really insightful and informative sharing about the financial and banking industry. So next, we will jump right into the quiz session that will be handled by the Miss
Yes.
Chloe, and there is also prize that will be given by the CIMB. Okay, so it's on you, Miss Chloe.
Thank you, Luffy. Yeah, so we have prepped like a short quiz for everyone to see if you're paying attention throughout the session. So we also have a little token for those who are in the first, second, or third place later on. So without further ado, let me just put up the screen. So just get ready with your phone. I think you can join it from your laptop as well. Let me just load it. All right, so you can go to Kahoot.it and put in the PIN number and put your name. Don't put like your unicorn or something so that we can identify you at the end of the session. So put your name that we can recognize, as well as put in a code to join.
You can go to
Yes.
kahoot.it, yeah. So you
Yep.
in the PIN 5908368.
Okay, we have 50 plus now. We'll wait for another half minute for the rest to join. Okay, any more joining? So Okay, I think the name's still coming in. Okay, I think I should be able to start soon. I think mostly have joined. All right, I will just start. All right. So this CIMB graduate program Attire. Yes, the CIMB, the complex banker is not our program. So let's see who's on top. Shahida. Cool. So contact details is good to have on our resume. Is it good to have? It's a must-have, not good to have. So this is a tricky one lah. So let's see. Farhana Izzati is on the first on the list. So these are some of the ways we can arrange the content of our resume, except which one is not? Right. Farhana is still leading. So LEAD stand for listen, explain, accurate, and that's all. Is it correct?
So the answer is false.
Yeah, it's listen, expertise is to share your expertise.
Listen. Okay.
Yeah. Next. Oh, now it's S. Jen Lee leading. So these are what we can do after interview sessions. It should be accept, I think. Yeah, there's a word missing. Right. So the Complete Banker is a 2-year program, true or false? Okay, next. How long is the classroom training provided for TCB digital program? It's 1 month. Then we have 11 months of job rotation for TCB digital program. Okay, number 8, the Complete Banker program is open for all background of studies. So these are some of the suitable channels you can explore job access.
The answer is so obvious, right?
Yes, TikTok. So last one. TCB Digital is a one-year graduate program. Yes, it's a 1 year. If TCB program is 2 years, so there's a couple of programs that you can actually explore, which you can always check on our website to see which one is more suitable for you. All right, so let's see who's the winner. Number 3, we have A. Number 2, Farhana Izati. And the winner is Zihan.
Han,
Cool. All right.
congratulations.
Cool. Congrats.
Yeah.
So we will reach out. I think we'll reach out to Lufil and to get the details lah for us to send the gift over. So we have gift for first, second, and third place lah.
Okay. Sure.
All right. Thank you so much for participating in this.
Chloe, do you want to, display the gift?
I don't have it with me.
You don't have with you. Okay, I don't even have one as well.
Yeah, mine is in office. So the first place, we're actually giving out our Octo. So the CIMB mascot. So we have a little plushie for that. So second and third, we'll be giving out vouchers for them.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Thank you and congrats to all the winners. For the winners, can send your detail at the chat room. You can message me directly.
Yeah.
Okay, actually I am sorry because we are running out of time. So for the extra Q&A session, maybe all the participants can ask or connect with Mr. Aznan and Miss Chloe on LinkedIn. Is it possible?
Yes,
Can,
definitely.
sure.
Okay, thank you. Okay, before we end our session, can everyone stay for a while for our photo session? Let's keep our moment today together with Mr. Aznan and Miss Chloe. So everyone can turn on your camera for the photo session.
All right, everyone. So you can switch on your camera. Okay, wait. It's okay. I haven't started taking the picture yet. Okay, so we're gonna take 2 pictures. Okay. Okay. All right, for the first picture. Okay, everyone smile. 1, 2, 3. All right. Okay. 1 second. Right. Okay, we're gonna do one more. Okay, not yet. Okay, wait now. Wait a moment. All right, everyone smile. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right. All right. Thank you, everyone. Yep. Back to you, MC.
Okay, thank you, Aiman, for the photo session. Okay, thank you again for Mr. Aznan and Miss Chloe. Hope for our next engagement in the upcoming event. For the winners, can message me directly in the chat. I will update. I will keep your information and then I will pass to the CMB back. Okay, so before we end up, I would like to kindly remind all the participants to scan the QR code for your e-cert, and also I will put the link at the Zoom chat so that you can fill in the feedback form, okay? This is for your e-cert. Okay, so with that, we end our session. Thank you again, everyone, for today's wonderful session. Stay safe wherever you are and keep on following our latest updates on graduates and employability. Have a great weekend. Thank you again, Mr. Azan and Miss Chloe. Have a nice day.
Thank you, everyone. Stay
Okay,
safe.
thank you. Stay safe, yeah. Okay, bye.
Bye.